focus, reticle, breathe, press. Whoa, shit! We're gonna go out and set up the mile target. Tyler's out here waiting for us. So instead of just going straight to 2,000 yards, which is gonna be the goal today, we're gonna make it a little easier on ourselves and shoot out to a mile, which is 1760, I believe. Make sure the dope's good, and then we'll try to run out to 2,000 yards. But I gotta bring this big 30-inch target out here. Go down, go down, go down to me. Back to you. You know, there was two of us. We could have just...
I know, but then it's so much more work.
Okay, step one, done.
Target.
Step two, shoot it. So the last video was like a kind of a condensed version of start to finish at the 1,000 yards, but we really left out a lot of the how to gather your data, the specifics of your ballistics app, things like that. So, you know, how to make your wind call, what calibers we're using, things like that. So I want to dive more into details with that on this video, because it's going to be a lot more important shooting out to a mile than it is 1,000 yards. Not that 1,000 yards is a chip shot, but everything we do is going to be much more important, much more intense.
Get out of the truck!
Right now?
Yeah.
Why?
Get out of the truck.
Oh my God, I'm
God
shooting.
damn. It's like a woman, dude.
He's eating a honey bun.
Yeah, I am.
What are we doing?
I'm gonna show you targets.
That's the 7, right?
7.
The gear that I need to zero real quick, like last time. My single shot.
Let's talk about this ARCA.
Yeah, I'm using that today.
Yeah, but you're not using it the whole time.
No, we can pull it off.
So here we have the Falkor Defense 7 PRC LWS. It's their LWS long action, LW7 Plus. It's the long action. It's got the top rail that can be swapped out if you want to use just the small pieces. I prefer the long rail on top. And then you've got their LWS chassis, which has a lot of features where you look, M-lock. We also have the adjustable mag catch, right? So what that means is I can adjust the height of the mag catch to fit magazines, or I can actually tune the rifle to feed more proper without running into nose diving projectiles and things like that. The entire rifle as it sits right now is 4.5 pounds. Once we start adding optic, bipods, things like that, it's obviously going to get a little heavier, but we still should be able to fall somewhere under that 10-pound range. It's going to be a great setup for hunting, NRL hunter, the competitions where your rifle weight is a factor. And we're going to try and stretch this baby out to a mile today. And we're going to do incremental. So we'll zero now, we'll get the rifle set up for me, which also means it'll probably be set up for Jeph. And then we'll take it out, we'll chronograph it. We're going to shoot 3, 5, 7, 1,000, 1,300, and then stretch it out to 1 mile. Testing our ballistics and making small changes here and there to get those BCs and everything dialed in. So in the bore, you're essentially going to see 3 circles. You'll see the chamber, then you'll see the beginning of the rifling, and then you'll see the end of the muzzle. So you got 3 circles. When you're looking through the bore, you want to line something up and place it center of the bore while keeping all 3 of those circles, those rings that you see, centered. Now we've got the rifle aimed. We're not creating parallax inside the barrel. We're trying to keep center aim down the bore. And now we look through the scope and we need to adjust the parallax. Once we got the parallax set, then we can start adjusting and bring that reticle to where we've aimed the bore. So we're gonna do that now. I've got the rifle built for me, but the scope is not set up for my perfect eyes. So I'm gonna need to go and have Jeph put something in front of my scope, and I'm going to fine tune the reticle so that the reticle's set for my vision, which is somewhere in the ballpark of 2010, 2015, depending on the light inside the doctor's office that day. So here we go. Max magnification. I can see perfectly clear. As we're just gonna start rotating counterclockwise until the reticle blurs. So now I'm at a blurry spot where you can see I've got it backed off pretty much all the way. So I'll start working it back to the right. I'm focused on the crosshair. It appears like the magnification's changing. So I'm gonna keep rotating it. And once I found that spot where I feel like it's crisp, it's not gonna get any more clear, I'm gonna relax, close my eyes, you know, just let that eye kind of settle back down, because you're using power to make your eyeball focus. We don't want that. We want the reticle to just be natural to your vision. So now it looks great. So normally after I finish getting everything dialed in, I'll mark it so I know if Jeph jumps on my rifle and spins my diopter, I can always go back to where my spot was. You can expect that your zero may change if your diopter is rotated or set in a different location. And you can also expect that your parallax will not be the same, right? So keep that in mind, that these are just reference points on the side of the parallax knob. So now I want to check the parallax. So what I'm doing is I got the rifle set up to aim at the target, and I'm just moving my head back and forth without disturbing the gun, trying to see if the reticle moves on a stationary target, telling me that the reticle and the target are not on the same plane in space inside the scope, which right now there's such a small amount of movement that, you know, you may not care. But if we're zeroing, we want to take every step possible to ensure that we are not messing things up when it comes time to shoot distance. And I think I've got it damn near perfect right now. Jeph, check it out. If it's set for me, it's going to be set for Jeph, as long as he doesn't change my parallax or my diopter setting.
Yeah, parallax is solid.
As I talked about, you set the diopter for you. Now the reticles, whatever prescription your eye is, that's what the reticle's set at. Like I said, it also changes your parallax. So if you look at the parallax knob right now, right here, the indicator on the parallax knob doesn't say 100. We're aimed at 100. It actually is kind of at the top edge of 75. So from now on, I can either mark that spot so I know where 100 yards is always going to be from my settings, or I can just remember that 100 is not 100. All right, we're gonna go center, just in between break pause and type 1 malfunction. Ready?
Send it. You've got to be kidding me.
This thing's fucking amazing.
That zero?
I didn't move off the target. It just, boom. We actually didn't hit paper.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But I think we're just above the paper, probably a little high. But there's a shot at the bottom of the upper paper, and it's about 1.3 mils high. I'm gonna aim 1.3 mils low.
Send it.
It swung left.
Where are you aiming? Center of paper?
Yeah.
All right. Spotter up.
Ah, it's low.
Yeah.
It went right underneath. 2 mils.
Spotter up. There we go. You see it?
Yep. See, we weren't right, motherfucker.
Spotter up. Spotter up. Okay, so we're gonna go to, we just chronoed that rifle. We're gonna go to history. We're gonna go to this session summary. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna show that he had a standard deviation of 12.2, but his average is 2805. So 2,805 feet per second. That's the number that we need. He's gonna take this number and he's gonna plug it into his ballistics app. So with the ballistics app, what I've named the rifle 7PRC 175 grain X for ELD-X, so I can just easily scroll through, find that rifle. So I selected the projectile with the G7BC at Mach 175, because I care more about that ballistic coefficient for distance shooting than I do what's happening at the muzzle. And then I come down, I've got all my rifles set up, and right here 2805 muzzle velocity. And a few other things I like to add is velocity threshold. I would like the calculator to tell me where I reach the transonic range. So now we're gonna take this information, we're gonna hit back, we're gonna go to our chart, and now we got all of our drops and our come ups, the shoot distance. We're gonna go 300, 500, 700, and 1,000, and we're
going to adjust as we go, right? And we're going to try and stay away from adjusting muzzle velocity and look more at, is the scope tracking and is the ballistic coefficient actually what it says it is, right?
Exactly.
So that's probably where we'll focus our shift. We do need to make sure that our atmospherics is updated correctly, so using density, altitude, or temperature, pressure, and relative humidity, especially for that 1 mile shot, it's really going to matter.
Weather and altitude matters, right? So you could take temperature, altitude, relative humidity, and you could calculate those, or you can just take what's called a density altitude, which is kind of a combination of all those. And essentially, the heavier the air, the lower you are, or the thinner the air, the higher you go, it's going to affect the bullet flight. It's going to affect the amount of drag that bullet has, and so therefore it's going to affect your ballistics data. So knowing what your weather is when you true it and when you zero it allows you to carry that over anywhere you go. You can just put in new weather and the app's going to give you new calculations based on that weather or based on that altitude. What's your wind call?
0.4 left.
Spotter up. Impact. Bottom left.
So there's like no wind. All right, so we're gonna go for the 500 plate. It's a circle, 12 inches. We're dialed up 2.3, and we're gonna hold left 0.4. Just kind of going off of our experience at 300. It's the same conditions.
Spotter up.
Checking parallax. On target.
Impact, right edge.
I see it. All right, so that was a 0.6 wind call that we should have had. All right, that's more like an 11-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, we're feeling a lot of wind here, but the mirage isn't telling me there's that much wind.
Yeah, I got a lot of mirage. A lot.
Do you?
Yes. Okay, 700 is diagonal from there.
Yep, I'm on it. I'm getting a lot more wind out there.
Off the left side.
Off the left side.
Okay. Too much wind. That puts us at about 0.6. On target.
Spotter up. Impact.
Probably got one more in us before we need to let it cool off. Go 1,000. Gonna dial up 7.2. Change my position here.
What are you getting for wind? I'm still seeing just under 10.
I'm gonna go 1.2 left, try to account for wind and also some of that spin drift.
Spotter up.
Okay, on target. Go 1.1 left. Center.
No call.
Impact. I heard the ding, brother.
I didn't move at all.
That just means I'm good.
All right.
All right. Now we can let it cool off. We're gonna go for that mile, baby.
Spotter up.
We're gonna go 1.5 left.
No call.
All right, we're gonna add some wind. We gotta get this. We need to see the splash.
Yeah, it's a tough spot because it's grass.
There's a lot of grass around the right.
Yeah.
Right, it's the sagebrush that we get lost in. I'm gonna add a mill. We'll do the same wind call, but we'll add a mill, all right?
Okay, 1-3 left.
Yep.
Spotter up.
1-3 left, 1 mil high.
No call.
We're gonna go 3.5 mils left. Ready?
Spotter up. No call. So much grass around it.
It's not the grass, man, it's the sage. 21.3, 3 mils left.
Spotter up. No call.
3.2 mils left.
3-2 left.
I'm gonna go 1 mil high.
No call. I can't even see a fucking trace from here.
Oh my God. This is tripping me out a little bit. 5.3 left. Impact. Hear it? Fucking hear that? I saw the target move and everything.
Yeah, no, that looked like an impact.
Let's do it again.
Send it again.
5.3 left. Impact.
Impact.
On target.
Spotter up.
5.3 left. What'd you see?
No call.
I think it was off to the left.
Spotter up. No call. Definitely had 3 good impacts.
We did.
It just doesn't like being that close.
Go back to 5.3.
Go back to 5.3. Spotter up.
5.4 left. Oh.
Just off the left. 5.2 left.
Off the left.
Off the left.
Fuck. Wind's dying on us. Oh, it died big time, dude. Or the barrel's just getting too hot. We'll try one more. 4 or 5 left.
4 or 5 left.
No.
Off the left.
It just keeps walking left, dude. So we just shot the mile target, right?
Yeah, we did.
And we were on the struggle bus.
Yeah, we were. I actually kind of like that we struggled because I've talked about it before. Shooting out to 1,000 yards is hard. Shooting out to 1,300 yards is hard, but going that extra 400-500 yards is an absolute game changer. And it's not just it's not a linear curve on how difficult it is. It's exponentially harder.
Well, I mean, you can see the
You
wind.
can feel the wind right now, right?
Like,
it's that much more wind value that you have to deal with. So, yeah, it was a good time. Yeah. And we finally made the impact. It took more than it should have. But, I mean, maybe it didn't. Maybe it's just sometimes that's what it takes.
But to highlight the capabilities of the rifle and the cartridge itself, dude, once we were on,
there was 3 back-to-back.
It was 5.3 left, bam, 5.3 left, bam. Like, it just
it was nice.
Kept happening.
That rifle is well built.
And that's a 30-inch target at 1,760 yards.
With
2 MOA.
Yes, but also without match ammo. That was just
175 grain ELD-X.
Precision hunter. It wasn't.
Hunter.
It's not Hornady match. This is box hunting ammo. Yeah. So that's a pretty big deal.
So there you have our incremental process of walking out to a mile. When you want to test your trajectory, make sure your ballistic calculator is working the way it's supposed to. Try to make any adjustments. This is the easiest process to go through. Find your targets, space them out, and then hopefully you'll be dealing with a little bit better either backdrop conditions or wind conditions that allow you to get on target a lot faster. Like, subscribe, appreciate you guys following. Till next time, Jeff and I are out of here.
Peace.